Rich, how you doing? This is Bree with Northland Marketing. We spoke on the phone earlier and I said I was going to go ahead and record this video for you. So in this video, we're going to go over the top three competitors for breweries in Westbrook. We're going to talk about what their sites look like, what they're doing to get to the top, and what would be required of you guys to do the same. Obviously, you guys don't have a website for me to go over, so we're just going to jump straight into the competitors. So I went ahead and Googled brewery in Westbrook, CT, and this is called the Map Pack. So the top three listed here are the ones that receive a lot of the work. It's really important to be listed in these top three. Most people won't click on view all. If they will, they'll only scroll down so far. So the goal is to be in these top three of the Map Pack. The websites listed below here, these are called the organics, and the same things apply. You want to be listed on the front page and really ideally within these top three positions so that the most amount of people are going to be able to find your website. Now, the good news is that this is a really easy keyword, and we know that because it's mainly directories up at the top. So we have Yelp, we have beer menus, we have yellow pages. This is someone in South Carolina. They just have a really powerful website, and so that's why they're showing up here for a CT keyword. Best brew pubs, 30 Mile Brewing Co. So this is finally the first one that is local. However, they're not in Westbrook, they're in Old Saybrook. There's a Facebook page for Brazen Brew. They are in Westbrook, but it's not their website. Stony Creek Beer, and another directory here. So this isn't too difficult of a keyword. There's not tons and tons of people competing for this, which is good. So let's take a look at this first one here, Yelp. Obviously, this is just a Yelp listing. So this is something we would get you in so that you would show up. And they typically list these people by location, but also, they might be paying for Yelp ads, so they might pop them up a little higher at the top. However, we would put you in this directory. If we look at that first website, the first company website, 30 Mile Brewing, we can see it's okay. This is pretty hard for me to read in general. So not a great intro. There's no menu up at the top here. I'm kind of confused what's going on. I guess here's their menu. This looks okay. They've got a decent amount of words here. They deliver, that's cool. Order here. They talk about their beers that they have, about their beers, and then it goes down to their location where it actually shows it can't load correctly, and then down to their footer. So they have some text on here, definitely not over 1,500, but they do have a decent amount of text on here. But we would be beating them out with those 1,500. It's okay because I like how they have everything in sections. The sections break it up, but could definitely be designed better. So they do have a decent amount of words in here. They do have some keywords, and that's what's helping them to at least be on the front page in front of other people. If we look at Stony Creek Brewery, again, super hard to read this up here, their logo too, just a difficult thing to read. They have sections as well. They've got some text here, nice sunset picture, book your event, little quote, actually it's a review, some pictures, and then down to their footer. So they have less text on here, which is one of the reasons why they're ranking a little bit lower. We would definitely be beating out their content. We would have way more keywords in your content, which is something we talked about that was really important. A lot of them don't seem to have very many keywords in here, and we would have your website optimized much better. Now, I want to talk about a program I use called Arrows. This is what I use to kind of investigate a website and see how it's doing and what they're doing. So directories, especially Yelp, it doesn't read so well. However, it does give us a little bit of insight. So these are the UR and DR ratings. These are some of the most important things to ranking a site. The UR refers to the overall power, refers to the power of that page, the specific page you're on. So it's kind of like the trust rating. And the DR rating is kind of the power rating. And so it's talking about the whole entire website, which is why it's so high. It's talking about Yelp.com as a whole. So we don't really have to pay attention to this number. We would more pay attention to this number as 14. Your website starting off would be at 0 and 0 to put that into perspective. This is a reasonable number. Generally, websites with some marketing will fall around this. This is unbelievably high, and no one's going to beat this. So it's a good thing we don't have to focus on that. I wanted to look at 30 Mile Brewing Co. to give you a more accurate depiction here. So we can see their UR and DR ratings are higher, and they're pretty equal, which is great. So this is a good starting point to try and shoot for. They have 1,800 backlinks coming from 136 referring domains. And so what this means is they have 136 websites calling them out, giving them a backlink. A backlink is kind of like a shout out from a website. So for example, if a blog wrote an article about brewery companies and they listed your website URL as a brewery they were recommending, that's one backlink. So they have 1,800 of those, and they're coming from 136 websites, which is pretty good. But since these numbers still aren't super high, I'm going to assume that a lot of these probably aren't super quality. So we would not need to go after 136, but we would need to go after some decent, powerful ones. Now, when we take a look at the organic keywords, these are the keywords used in their content that I was talking about at the beginning here. Let's try and exclude their name so we can filter a little better. Okay. Now, this is where I got a lot of our keywords for the proposal. For example, Brewery CT Shoreline. We can see that approximately 30 people are searching for that a month, and they're in roughly 6th position. Breweries near Essex CT. Okay, there's approximately 40 people Googling that a month. Micro breweries in CT. That's kind of a cool one. There's approximately 150 people Googling that a month. Best IPA in CT, approximately 30 people. Craft beer CT, approximately 200 people. Sour beer Connecticut, approximately 20. So on and so forth. We can see there's some huge ones like CT breweries. There's some huge keywords in here. However, the bigger the keyword it is, the more difficult it is to show up. And so the idea behind this is that you really want to show up for these bigger keywords. You want all 200 people to at least be seeing your website, because a percentage of that is going to click on your website, a percentage is going to call you or show up at your place, your restaurant, and then they're going to turn into a customer. So that's why it's really important to be at the top. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great evening.